When Taylor Swift steps into a room, onto a red carpet, or out onto a New York sidewalk, the world notices. She has always been tall, elegant, and striking. But recently, a fresh set of photos has left fans buzzing about something deeper. They're calling it Taylor's actual size. And no, that phrase isn't about measurements, numbers, or labels. It's about the undeniable presence of a woman fully embracing her space in the world. Taylor isn't just walking into a moment anymore. She's owning it with her head held high, her shoulders steady, and her gaze soft but strong. And at 34, she's showing fans not just her physical stature, but the aura of a global icon who knows exactly who she is and has no intention of shrinking to make others comfortable. A new round of photos that sparked buzz. It started with snapshots that surfaced from a mix of red carpet events, on-tour moments, and candid street photography in New York City. Taylor, dressed in sleek, form-fitting outfits, radiated a kind of energy that fans couldn't stop talking about. Her long legs, already legendary, looked even more statuesque. Her figure was elegant and confident, but what really stood out was her posture, the way she carried herself with complete assurance. Instantly, social media lit up. "She's giving runway model," one fan wrote. "Her presence is unreal," another added. The conversation wasn't about dramatic transformation or reinvention. It was about Taylor stepping into her moment and letting the world see her as she truly is: tall, powerful, graceful, and self-assured. Why fans are calling it her actual size. The phrase actual size has nothing to do with superficial labels. It's about presence. For years, Taylor's career has been defined by growth, not just musically, but personally and stylistically. Fans have seen her journey from country sweetheart to pop megastar, from girl next door to global fashion icon. Each phase brought new confidence, new power, and new self-awareness. Now, those qualities are visible in the way she simply exists in space. Her height, her gaze, her style, it all adds up to an aura that feels larger than life. This is Taylor fully in her element, refusing to dim her light or make herself smaller. Fashion as an extension of her presence. Taylor Swift has always used fashion as a form of storytelling. On stage, her sparkling bodysuits and dramatic gowns set the tone for her Eras-themed tours. On the red carpet, she has leaned into glamour, from bold Met Gala looks to timeless evening gowns. On the streets of New York, she embraces chic minimalism with an edge. These latest photos are no exception. Her sleek, tailored outfits highlight her natural frame without overpowering it. The choices are intentional, modern but classic, commanding without being excessive. It's not about overdoing it, it's about aligning style with confidence. Fans immediately noticed the subtle sophistication. Taylor looked comfortable, radiant, and unapologetically herself. The aura of confidence. What struck fans most in these photos wasn't just Taylor's wardrobe or her striking height. It was the way she carried herself. Shoulders back, head high, steps steady. She looked like someone walking through life with total awareness of her worth. Confidence is often intangible, but in Taylor's case, it's visible. She no longer tries to blend in or appear smaller. She embraces her stature, her presence, and her space. And that confidence is infectious. Fans commented on how refreshing it was to see a woman of her stature fully embrace her size and presence instead of downplaying it. From country sweetheart to global icon, Taylor Swift's journey has always been about evolution. When she first emerged on the scene as a teenage country artist, her image leaned into relatability, sweet, approachable, and girl next door. As her music evolved, so did her style and her sense of self. By the time she entered her pop era with 1989, she was experimenting with sleek fashion, bolder statements, and a more commanding presence. The Reputation era leaned into darker, edgier aesthetics, while Lover embraced romantic pastels and dreamy silhouettes. The Pandemic-era albums Folklore and Evermore saw her in cozy cardigans and cottagecore-inspired looks. And with Midnights and the record-breaking Eras tour, she has entered her most powerful phase yet, one defined by full confidence, intentionality, and presence. Social media reactions. As soon as the latest photos hit the internet, social media erupted with admiration. Fans compared her to runway models, celebrated her aura, and pointed out how she seemed to have grown even taller. Some joked about her being larger than life, while others simply marveled at how comfortable she looked in her own skin. What united the conversation was the recognition that Taylor Swift's presence has reached new heights, literally and metaphorically. She is not just an artist people listen to, she's an energy people feel. The power of owning space. Taylor's actual size moment goes beyond aesthetics. It speaks to a broader truth about women in the public eye, and women in general. For decades, cultural expectations have pressured women to shrink themselves, to be smaller, quieter, and less visible. Taylor's refusal to do that sends a powerful message. By embracing her height, her figure, and her presence, she reminds fans that confidence is not about conforming. It's about owning who you are unapologetically. Her stance, her walk, her gaze, they all communicate self-assurance. And in doing so, she inspires others to embrace their own space, a role model in confidence. Taylor Swift has always been more than a musician. Her lyrics, her activism, and her visibility have made her a role model for millions. But what makes her stand out is that she embodies her message. She writes about growth, heartbreak, resilience, and empowerment. And she lives those themes out loud. These new photos don't just show a celebrity in a nice outfit. They show a woman who has grown into herself, who stands tall without apology, and who embraces her journey with poise. That's what fans are responding to. Beyond fashion, the Swift aura. Part of what makes Taylor so captivating is that her aura goes beyond clothing or posture. It's a mix of artistry, confidence, and authenticity. She has built an empire by staying true to herself while also evolving in ways that keep her fresh and relevant. She isn't afraid to reinvent her sound, experiment with style, or take risks. That fearless approach to her career translates into her presence. Fans aren't just seeing Taylor Swift, they're experiencing her energy. And that energy feels larger than life. The importance of authenticity. At the heart of this moment is authenticity. Taylor doesn't look like she's trying to impress anyone. She looks like she's comfortable in her own skin. That authenticity is what fans connect to most. In an era of heavy editing, filters, and curated perfection, seeing a star embrace her real presence is refreshing. She doesn't need gimmicks to stand out. She simply is herself, and that's enough to command attention. Standing tall, literally and figuratively, Taylor Swift's actual size is, of course, about her physical presence, her height, her figure, her striking features. But it's also about her figurative size. The cultural space she occupies, the influence she wields, and the way she fills a room with her aura. She has grown from a teenage country singer into one of the most powerful artists in the world, commanding stadiums, topping charts, and shaping culture. These photos serve as a reminder of just how far she's come and how fully she's stepped into her power. Fans see themselves in her. Part of why Taylor's presence resonates so deeply is that fans see themselves reflected in her journey. They've watched her face public criticism, navigate personal challenges, and still rise stronger. They've seen her shift from being underestimated to being unstoppable. And now they see her standing tall, literally and figuratively, without apology. For many fans, it's not just inspiring. It's empowering. It reminds them that they too can embrace their own actual size, whatever that means for them. Taylor Swift as a cultural icon. Today, Taylor Swift is more than an artist. She's a cultural icon. Her music defines eras, her tours break records, and her influence extends across industries. Fashion is just one piece of her story, but it's a powerful one. By choosing looks that amplify her presence rather than downplay it, she signals to fans that true style is about authenticity, not conformity. Each public appearance becomes more than just a moment. It becomes a cultural conversation. Confidence as timeless style. Ultimately, the takeaway from Taylor's recent photos is simple but profound. confidence never goes out of style. Heels, dresses, fashion choices, those things matter, but what matters most is the aura she carries. She doesn't just wear outfits, she embodies them. She doesn't just walk into a room, she commands it. And she doesn't just perform music, she creates cultural moments that ripple across the globe. Taylor Swift's actual size is not measured in inches or feet. It's measured in presence, energy, and impact. Conclusion: presence is power. Taylor Swift's latest photos reminded fans of something they already knew deep down. She is larger than life, not because of numbers or labels, but because of her presence. She walks with confidence, dresses with intention, and embraces her stature, both physically and culturally. At 34, she has fully grown into herself, no longer shrinking to fit expectations, but standing tall in every sense of the word. And that's why fans are buzzing. Taylor Swift has shown her actual size, and in doing so, she's reminded us all that presence is power, confidence is timeless, and authenticity is the ultimate form of beauty.